.7 acres on the Stehekin River in Chelan, Washington. My name is Miles McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. What we do is we buy and sell raw vacant land, rolling out a riverfront property in really, truly a world-class special area here on the Stehekin River. This is in the north end of Lake Chelan. It's a place where no roads can take you. That's kind of the nickname of this area. I'm going to talk in detail about this neck of the woods. I'm going to talk in detail about the access to this property in this video, and I'm going to go over some FAQs and some potential ways you can do your own research on this property from wherever you're at, right? So again, the main selling point of this property, we can see it here on a map. It's going to be river frontage on a world-class river. Do your research on the Stehekin River. This truly is something special, right? I don't know. I've never seen real estate pop up in my lifetime on the Stehekin River, but you're just not going to see a lot of it. There's not a lot of private ownership, and I'll show ownership records. I'll pull it up on Onyx Maps. I'll show you how you can access the property and all that good stuff. So, what makes this property special is it's totally surrounded either by the river on one side and then public land behind it. So the first thing I want to do is just show you this property on satellite imagery on Google Earth. You can see the access to this property is either from the Stehekin River Trail. This is a hiking trail. And you can access this trail from down here at Weaver Point. This is a dock and this is a campground. So this is an area that can be accessed via boat, via the dock and the campground. Right? When I talk about this being a special area, you can see why from these photos. And I'll show you some more photos throughout the video to give you a better idea what this property is all about. But this is only about a mile hike, if that, to the property. And I will pull it up on Onyx Maps even and show you what I'm looking at here. So let me get out of this. I can discard that route. So let me get back to the property. So we're located, right here on the Stehekin River. Like I said, the major selling point is at your riverfront. This is going to offer some really special fishing in this location. You can do some research. I actually have a couple articles linked here. So I've got the Stehekin River Trail, which you can click this link in the listing to read more about the Stehekin River Trail. And I'm going to walk through it in this video too. And then I've got also, like I said, the Stehekin website where no roads can take you. So this is an area that's got a following, right? It's kind of got a cult following, the Stehekin River does. So the people that know this area know how special it is. And so you can look through the Stehekin website and read more about it. This website is going to offer a lot of information about this area in general. There are no roads that can take you back here, and people are okay with that, right? It really creates a special little aura of the area. And so I wanted to share some of that information with you. And so the next thing we're looking at is here's where the property is located from a satellite view, from a bird's eye view. We're north of Leavenworth. You go up Lake Chelan into the Stehekin Wilderness. Okay. And I showed you the property on Onyx here. You can see, there's some slope on the back side of it right here. And you can see that in Google satellite imagery too. This is going to be more sloped. This is going to be your flatter area. If I draw that out, I've got this in 3D. So you can see kind of, this is going to be sloped here, but there's a lot of usable area that's going to be, let's just call this all usable, right? Get to the corner of the property. It's almost half an acre of usable land. I don't know where the Stehekin River Trail comes through. I don't think it's along the river. I do think it's going to be higher up over here. This is a GIS overlay, so it's not 100% accurate of what you're actually going to see in person when you're out there. So we do know the Stehekin River hiking trail, which I can't imagine is used very often with this being boat-in access only. Probably a pretty lightly used trail. But here's your dock right here. And I can just do even a trail system here. I can show you, I can kind of track this trail till we get to our property, which I think is about right here. Let's zoom in and make sure we're at the right location. Yeah, so to get to about our property, it's less than a mile. Less than a 90-foot elevation gain. It's really a pretty easy hike to get to the property from that boat dock, the closest boat ramp right there. And I'm using what's called Onyx Maps. I'm using Onyx Maps, which is a mapping program. All I'm doing is plugging the GPS coordinates in here. I'm sure if you're buying land like this, you probably have a pretty decent idea how to use this. But again, this is an access point. This is a public campground. I wanted to point that out. This is a resort. So you can see next to our property, it's all public land. So you're not going to have any neighbors. Here's our property again. You're not going to have any neighbors. Behind you is going to be a wilderness area. And then behind that is going to be another wilderness area, Glacier Peak Wilderness. So some cool things is there's a plane I'm going to pull up, Google Earth to show you the rest here. Before I do that, I want to show you some private ownership. So you can see there's more private ownership across the river. Across the Stehekin, you can see like there's some private ownership. People are building these cabins, so people are developing off-grid cabins, yurts, their own little private campgrounds, things like that. So you can see there is development out here. If you're familiar with the area, do some research on it on the north end of Lake Chelan. And so you can see there's lodges out here where people are boating to. People value that, right? That privacy, that seclusion, and that remoteness for hunting and fishing and things like that. So the next thing I want to show you is hopping over to Google Earth and just taking a peek. Like we can look at some photos of like this campground, for example. Like I said, very special area, right? And you can see that you've got this campground here. And you can click around on Google Earth yourself, and they have a lot of photos of the area if you want to look through it. And there's a place where you can actually fly into out here, and I'll show you that. So just wanted to kind of click around, showing you guys the views and stuff. We'll get some views of the river here, if I can find some river photos. Here's one up here, I believe, the Stehekin River. And we're really right here at the mouth of the river almost, where it goes into Lake Chelan. So that's a pretty cool location to be at. You can keep going up the river and there's still more development. You can see that right here. So people are developing and building out here. Looks like there is some sort of road system out here once you take a boat out there. So here's an orchard, right? So there's a lot going on in the Stehekin village. So really a special area. And you can see there's actually a place to fly a plane into in the Stehekin River area too. So I guess it's boat access, it's fly-in access. I'm not a pilot. I don't know all the details of how you can land on this landing strip, but just keep that in mind. That's out there. Just know that up and down this river, even if we go further north up the river, people are accessing and using it. I mean, there's campgrounds way up north on this river, on the PCT Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, is up here too. So you can see, I mean, people continue. There's another campground up here on the Stehekin River. So when we talk about this property, it's one of a kind, it's special. We're not going to see much of this become for sale up here in the Stehekin, right? So it's really a special location and a special area. Just kind of capping off the video, I've got a lot of information, the GPS coordinates, the parcel ID, all that good stuff in the listing. Really the target audience here is somebody looking for a private recreational spot, whether you put a yurt in, you build some sort of off-grid little structure or cabin out there, or simply you're camping and using it for fishing and recreation. That's what really you're investing in the location. So get with us if you have any questions, just ending my video like all of them. We sell all of our property here as is at Wilco Land. You as a buyer need to make sure it's going to be the right fit for you. This isn't legal advice. This isn't real estate advice. This is me simply sharing what I know about the property and some of the tools I use to research property on my own. So again, give us a call if you have questions. Our number here is 605-299-5553. And just browsing through our homepage, you can see we have a lot of listings all over the country. So like I said, happy land hunting out there, and hopefully we hear from you. Thanks.